Everyone, Soundwave 8884. In this review, I'm take a look at KO Studio Series 86 Megatron. This is ST-04 Destruction Warrior. Now, first I'm going to state in this video, if you're here to see this guy in tank mode, you will not see it in this video because I don't care about the tank mode at all. I just care about the robot mode, and I really didn't want this. I mean, I don't need it. I have the Studio Series 86 Megatron. There's so many upgrade kits. I like to compare it with just a standard Megatron. So by buying this, I can sort of do that. So I can have an upgraded Megatron and then sort of an original Megatron as well. This guy here cost me $25 before shipping. I think it was like $30 after shipping to get this guy here. It took about 2 weeks. I'll leave a link to the seller I got in the pinned comment down below, also in the description down below as well. Let's go ahead and get to the review of this KO Studio Series 86 Megatron. I got the camera flipped around here. We got the box. Just show you how he comes packed. Now you can actually get this guy without the box. That's one of the options from the seller. I chose with the box just because I like to have that box. It comes in a clamshell packaging, very cheapish. It's got tape on this side. I slit one side. Figures in here. Some accessories in this little plastic baggie. You can use it for other recreational activities. And you get his instructions right here. Like I said, I'm not going to transform this guy at all because I don't care about the tank mode, and it's going to look like he does in the Studio Series 86 anyway. So let's go ahead and bring in the figures. All right, Studio Series 86 Megatron. You can tell because he's got this stuff called insignia. KO because he doesn't have the insignia. They can't do that. So first off, right off the bat, we're going to weigh them. So we have all the accessories on the cannon, and on their back side we have the sword and his gun mode back there. So what we're going to do is turn the scale on, weigh the figures in grams, see which one is more hefty. Let's make sure it is at 0. We'll take the Studio Series 86 Megatron, put them right there in the center. We'll get the camera up, take a look. 208 is the weight. That rhymed. Ain't that cool? All right, we'll get the KO. Close your fist up. Put him in the center. Pick that up. 200. So he is 8 grams less than the original Studio Series 86 Megatron. So that's the weight. Side by side comparison is nothing too glaringly different just by looking at the figures, minus the insignia and the head sculpts. And the head sculpt seems to be exactly the same, but I guess when they KO it, it doesn't translate perfectly. So there are differences within the figure here. If we get the head sculpt up close, we'll zoom into that. Alright, so in the Studio Series 86, you see the eyes, you can see more of the eyes. He's more squinty over here in the KO. It's like they didn't cut it fully down, so he's got a smaller eye slit. So that is probably, the head is the biggest contention on the look of the figure for me, is that the head sculpt didn't translate perfectly. Also, the white paint they used on the Megatron face here, the KO company decided not to paint it fully, so even get down to the chin, it just ends right there. So I think as part of the look is they didn't get the white paint from end to end there, even though he's not painted on the sides, but you can see it is fully in the front, whereas they did not. Also the black up top and the black right above his eyes. This here, it seems to have like a light black up top, and then right above the eyes is more of a silver than it is a black color. So I think if that was done, had been done more in a darker black, which you probably can customize yourself, it would make the eyes stand out a bit more and then contrast with the black here. Also, like I said, the eyes does not seem to be slit open enough. Just really squinty, especially close to the nose. And when we bring in the official, you can see this seems to be a little bit wider there than what we're getting here on the KO. Other differences right off the bat, you notice that the blue paint here is brighter, more of a deeper blue, I would say, on the official, and the yellow is a little bit brighter. Also painted a little bit better. A little more sloppy on the blue and yellow here. The blue is a little bit lighter. But I would say the red is done better on the KO and the elbows than it is here on my official. It's kind of a little sloppy there and here, but I want to say the red paint might be a little more red, and this one's almost like a pinkish red. It's hard to explain. And looks, back it up, beat. The legs on the KO, a little more bluish gray than the actual Studio Series 86, which came out to be more of a, I can't remember the word for it. It's a gray color. I can't remember the actual name for it. but it's more gray looking on camera than the KO. It has a little more of that blue tinge to it. Turn to the side. Look pretty much about the same there. Turn to the back side. I think the accessory store is exactly the same here. The silver paints is a little bit brighter on the KO, and a little bit more of a deeper, silver on the official Studio Series 86. And if you look at the cannons here, actually I want to say the paint is done a little bit better on the shoulder fusion cannon here than it is here. But you can see how it's done. It's not exactly the same. It's like skinnier, and it's a bit wider here. The actual piece that stands up on it. So we'll remove the accessories from the KO. We'll compare the accessories real quick. First, we'll bring in the lightsabers and use the cut Optimus Prime. Not too different. The official has a darker purple, where it's a little more shimmery, shiny on the KO. Turn to the side. You see the official has a little hole in the peg. KO does not. That's going to be your biggest differences there. Bringing in the Megatron handheld weapons. Again, you're not going to get a Decepticon insignia on the KO. Well, it's not too different. KO is just a little more bloated, and that's probably the way they had to copy the mold and redo it. Probably ends up bloating it up a little bit. Let's check it for blast effects. We know the official here will hold. It helps if I actually can line that crap up. We'll try that again on the KO. Fits snug like a bug in a rug. It's not too much differences here on the Megatron pistols. Alright, fusion cannon time. Now we know these do not hold the blast effects. It's made to actually hold the barrel on the back of Megatron. This is the KO. This here is the official, as I said. No. So I was trying to tell you how this piece is wider and more built. It's a little bit skinnier here on the official. Turn the side, and they both appear to be the same height and length. You can tell the height there. Otherwise, not too different. Let's look at the inside here. Well, they're both six-sided inside. It's this turn where the points are on the official up and down, north and south, and the flat sides are west and east. As opposite on the KO, the flat sides are north and south, with the points going west and east. Bringing back Megatron, the back barrel is a bit of contention. It's probably the worst part so far on the figure. Like I said, I've not transformed this guy, so I don't know if he transforms perfectly or not. Like I said, I got him this for the robot mode, so there might be other reviews out there for the transformation. If there's any problems or something running in that way, I haven't heard of any problems on the figure. But the biggest negative on this copy is this is the KO. This is official. I can pick him up by this barrel and shake him around. It's not moving. This is the KO. If I pick him up, it's just whee. Yeah. It does not stay in very well. There's stuff you can buy that can remedy that problem. I keep meaning to pick some up at the store. I just keep forgetting. But it's just very loosey-goosey in there. And that's the biggest problem I have on the KO. The other thing is this hip skirt piece here is like kind of warped. I know you can heat it up to get it to work back out, but it wants to slant down, not really stay connected. Also, I'm going to compare the top of the back barrel. It's a square here, and you get the six-sided figure there. Is it a hexagon? It's hexagon, right? I'm not good at geometry, but yeah, I think it's a hexagon, because the pentagon is 5, hexagon is 6, and the octagon is 8. Yeah, so that's the biggest problem, is that is really, really loose, like extremely loose. So the head sculpt being and the back piece are the two biggest flaws so far on the KO. Also, it weighs 8 grams less. I know some people are, it's going to be hefty, and he still feels decently hefty in your hands. But by holding it, you really don't notice the 8 grams. But once you realize that, when you pick it up, you're like, oh yeah, maybe so. In the official Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, we already knew that Megatron was slightly bigger than they did in the Studio Series line. And it carries over here. And one thing I found funny on the KO Optimus Prime, they kind of fixed the smokestack problem where they're loose on the official and they're tight on the KO. Whereas Megatron, his back barrel tight on the official and just loose on the KO. So you know articulation is going to be the same as what you got here on the official 86 Megatron. Again, we'll just take a closer look at some of the details in the molding. A few little spots here that are slightly, more enhanced or noticed on the detailing on the KO. And some pieces do turn out to be looking like a little bit bigger on the KO than they were on the official Megatron. Other than that, joints are nice and tight. Nothing else seems to be really loose on the figure except for maybe the fingers, which is probably better than being overly tight, and that can kind of become a problem there. So move the hip skirt out. Yeah, so everything else seems to be working in order here for Megatron. Accessories, I think it's the Centurion Guard, I don't remember. If you have accessory pack, you can use your accessories on this Megatron. It helps if I can get his hand. Yeah, the fingers on the KO are slightly more loose than the official. I'm trying to see if this actually will work on him. You would think it would, but I'm having problems actually getting that to go into his hand. So we get that into his hand so you can hold the mace. And let's see if it comes out just fine. I know in the official, sometimes when you pull a weapon up out of his hand, because of that peg, the way his hands are pegged in with the ball joint there, that can pop up. You know, that's for transformation. But it stayed in fairly well, so the hand is an improvement there than what I had on Studio Series 86 Megatron. So sometimes I know I did my unboxing and then my review that I was able to pop that hand out trying to unpeg stuff from the figure. Now I also have this fusion cannon here I got from Collector Crafts on eBay. It's designed by Funby Studios. And it works. I've had this actually on my official. So we'll just put it on the KO. And you see how that works. We got a peg and a little cut around it. So it kind of goes around this piece and fits snug against the arm. So let's see. Yep, fits good on that. And also the barrel does extend. Because, you know, it's all about size. And this barrel here, I've actually reviewed it as well, is Blast Effect compatible. And actually came with some Blast Effects, and 3D printed Blast Effects. I know these probably aren't going to mat. Here we go. Let me put that back there. It's not the right colors for him, but you can have it coming out both ends. So if you didn't get the official, you got the KO. This cannon will also work on that, as well as your other accessories there. Going to bring in my Scavenge Boner. That didn't sound right. My Scavenge Crusher. And this is, that's not the KO, you dumbass. Okay. And we're just going to take the KO Megatron. That fits a little loose. I actually haven't put that anywhere yet. So that's actually a little loose in his hand versus the official. So see that kind of loosey-goosey there. Let's take the official, which is tight to get in there. So that might be another contention there, is this is actually going to be loose a little bit in some of the figures. And it stays in the hand. It's just going to spin a little more freely and come out. And let's try that in Megatron, which I think has a problem there. There we go. Fits fine in Megatron. I'm going to try his laser sword. Put that in his hand here. Put that around. I'm not sure the laser sword is actually going to fit in. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, that doesn't sound good, sir. But yeah. That snapped in really good. So let's see how well that comes out. Come on. Come on. Hope I didn't break anything. Come on. Come on. Yeah, he's got a snug little palm here. Get out, man. Yeah, I'll have to do this off camera. Alright, I got it out. Easier when you get it closer to you, I just have to pop it that way. But yeah, it's very tight. I noticed that when I was trying to get his mace in his hand, it's very snug. You know, this is an officially made Hasbro product. And this round peg seems to be a little bit bigger than what his hand wants to allow, but it is doable. You saw that I had it on camera. It was just a little tight. So we'll just put the accessories right back on Megatron. That's something. It's the back piece. Stay up. And we'll get the official back on the official. So KO Studio Series 86 Megatron. I mean, for 25 bucks, you know, it's like 30 bucks for shipping. Wonderful. I mean, but the thing is, it's a KO. A lot of people don't like KOs, and I understand why. You feel like it's stealing, but I have paid for the official as well. And I'm just curious how well it stands up. And it's kind of hard sometimes when, you know, I only saw him a few times in stores. Some of these figures do become hard to get a hold of. So sometimes you have to either pay scalper prices, or you have to hope someone eventually KOs it, or you find one on sale thrift stores, or someone's, you know, got to get rid of their collection, doesn't care, or, you know, or they die and their wife's like, hey, they don't need this crap anymore, I don't want it, and then get rid of it. So, you know, sometimes it's just hard to get certain figures, and Megatron was a pretty highly sought after, you know, Studio Series figure. Overall, not bad. My main reason I got this guy, like I said, was because he's cheap and I was gonna get some upgrades. So when I want to change out pieces or something, I don't want to break the official. I can break a $20 knockoff. That's fine with me. ST-04 Destruction Warrior. I'll leave a link, pinned comment, also in the description below where I picked this one up from on AliExpress. Studio Series 86 Megatron, still a wonderful figure. I think the best mainline Megatron Hasbro Takara has given us so far. And I think it'd be really hard to top this unless they give us an actual, you know, G1 alt mode, which I don't think it will ever happen in my lifetime. Well, thanks for watching. Until next one. Peace out.